So subscribe is one way that they can, that they receive this, or they'll get access to this little pop-up that happens that lets them either sign in or sign up. Also, of course, they can click on the project itself and letting a few other folks in. They can click on the project itself and just read a little bit about it, read the details that you have here, read, kind of see what they're going to have to respond to. We show them what the vendor survey is, before they log in, but you'll notice here that what this is. It's just a view only. It's a view of what it is. They can't actually interact with it. Sometimes we get some questions that come in that say, hey, like, I'm not able to drag and drop my files in, and we help guide them along, first of all, by having this little message here at the top that says, to respond to this project, you need to click the submit response button here. So in order for this to actually become like a live thing, they would need to click the submit response button, and that would also give them access to this sign in or sign up modal that pops up. So anytime where they actually want to start interacting with the solicitation or with just your portal in general, if I wanted to follow along with this portal, it's going to ask me to do the same thing. If I come over here to the top here, there's just a very simple sign up button, and it brings me directly to a place where they can sign up. So I just wanted to kind of show that to you real quick, just so you know that, like, if they're a vendor for the first time and you're wanting to do something inside of our software, the moment that you want to interact with it, it's going to ask you, it's going to prompt you to do something, to create an account. So if I wanted to create an account here and I don't have an account yet in the system, I can just come over here and I can type in an email address, and I'll say sign up. Okay, so now it's telling me that I've successfully signed up, and what's going to happen is they're going to receive an email. So I'll come over here, wait just a moment, and I've got a welcome to ProcureNow email that I can activate. All right. So all they needed to do was type in an email address. That's it. And then they'll come in and they'll just click Activate Account. When they do that, then they're going to click Start, and it asks basic information: first name, last name. Actually, that's not my first name. My real first name is Tuan. Tal is my middle name, so we'll just so that's a secret that I don't ever want anyone to share with anybody, but I'll share with you today. And then the name of the company, and then password. All right, that's it. So once they do that, now they're activated, and it's going to bring them back to the page that they were on. And then from there, they can move forward with the things that they wanted to do. If I wanted to follow along with the project, you'll notice what it's doing is that it's asking me to update my company profile information. And at some point, they're going to want to do that. They don't have to do that in order to just get access to start interacting with your solicitation. But they certainly will be reminded that this is something that they're going to want to eventually do. I'm just going to say later for now. And now I'm following. So what that does is, so folks that are used to using our solution, is that when you're looking at the vendor analytics tab inside of your tool, that you'll get to see all of those people who have clicked the follow button who are following along with the project. The other folks also will be able to see if they click on the followers tab, they'll be able to see other folks who have also are following along with the project as well. And so that's good if you are if you're wanting to let other vendors know if there's a prime contractor or something like that who is following along and I'm a subcontractor and I want to reach out to them, then we give them their contact information that they can do that just by looking at this list. Now, so before I click submit response, I'm just going to come over here to my profile, and if I don't have a picture uploaded of myself, it's just going to give me my initials. You guys probably have experienced that in the internal application as well. But let's just come over here and go walk through the different things that they can do with their vendor account. So the first thing I would want to do is to if I needed to make any changes or type in, then I can do that. I can put my job title in and save that. I can come over here and put my contact information in. I'm actually inside the United States, so let's just keep that where it is and save. I can come in and fill out my address. I can update my password, and then if I am signed up for any notifications, then it will let me know what those are here. So we'll come back to that in a second. The second thing they can do is they can actually update their profile information. So the one thing that's interesting to note is that one thing that ProcureNow does that is pretty unique is that we have both a vendor record, so we keep up with the companies that are listed and also who the users are within that company. And so, if a company had already been created, and what our system does is actually looks at your email address and it determines like, oh, if there's somebody else, with Lawn Services Care Inc. or whatever.com, and they try to sign up with a user account, it'll actually prompt them when they create the account, hey, do you want to either join an existing company or is this a new company? So that's one of the things that we help you do is we help alleviate the fact that there might be 5 people that are all in the same office that are all trying to respond to the same RFP. And so we actually just we take them through an additional step so that they have an opportunity to join the same vendor account. So if I want to make some changes to my vendor account, I'll come over here and there's some things that they can do here. I actually just clicked X over here and I should have explained that before I did that, but I'll just show you here. When a vendor does log in for the first time, if there are videos or welcome messages that are related to specifically to vendors, then they'll see that message when they come in. So we do have kind of like a welcome message when they log in, that gives them access to some of the main things that they would want to know about registering, receiving notifications, how to respond to projects. So we do put some of those important help files right out there in the beginning so they have access to it. It also gives them the ability to interact with us live. So for those who may or may not have known, the same feature that we give you internally, we give to our vendors as well. We're constantly assisting vendors as they're signing up and getting used to the solution as well in real time. All right, so I'll come in here and I'll fill out some more of my information. My state of corporation, the company address is different from my user profile address, what state that we're in. Yes, I guess if I were to be official, I would say that we're actually in San Francisco, and on the 6th floor, and not in Sacramento, but in beautiful San Francisco. There we go. Company type, websites, EIN. And then a description of the company. I'll save that now. We also give you the ability to enter in their commodity codes to the best that we can. We know that this is kind of a difficult, not the most intuitive thing to do for a vendor, but we can certainly they can type in words, keywords, and it will help them, try to find the things that are going to be most relevant for them. So I'll choose purchasing software since that's something that we definitely do. Maybe even like purchasing consultant, and we'll leave it at that. Let's clear that out. All right, so I'll come over here to certifications, and this is where they can classify themselves with different types of DBE classification that we have. Probably be on the lookout here for some additional classifications that we're going to be rolling out to our customers soon. If there are other like vendor classifications or things that that you would like to collect more information about that makes sense from a sort of global perspective, I definitely would love to receive some feedback on that. So if there are other sort of classifications, like we're actually looking at like emergency classifications, whether you provide emergency services, goods, et cetera. So that's actually something that you can look forward to. That will also show up here. If you think of any other things that you think might be interesting, definitely let us know. And then over here we have a place where they can upload some of their most common documents, like their W-9s, their proof of insurance, and then any other documents that they may want to include. They'd be able to include that there. Now, the purpose of that is going to be so that you have easy access to that when the time comes for you to need that for whatever reason that you need it for. And so we don't require them to do that here when they're just filling out their profile. If you do require those documents, then there's a way that you can actually require them to include that as part of their vendor response. And so just know that this is also here as a convenience, so that if you need to get to those documents on a vendor, you can just click on the vendor profile and you'll have access to those documents. All right, so I'll come back over here to my proposals, well, I guess the last thing I could show you real quick is just the admin tool here. For the only really admin tool that we have for them is they can add other people in their company and invite them to get an account with this, within that one company. So if I wanted to, add our CEO Liam to it, I could come over here and add him, and he would get an invitation to join this vendor account. And then they can export that as well. All right, so I'll come over here back to my proposals, and you'll notice that I have these links here for my proposals, projects that I'm following, and all proposals. What I'm going to do now actually is I'm going to come back over to the portal that that I'm interested in. So let's say that I go back over to Millbrae. So if there was a project that I was interested in, and now I'm logged in into the City of Millbrae portal, but I'm actually logged in with my vendor account, you see that the options here change. So if I click subscribe, now I'm going to be subscribed to their bids. The way that our solution works is that if they click subscribe and they are not, and they haven't selected the categories of their commodity code categories, then they'll actually get a notification for every bid that you have listed here. So if they don't specify a category, then they're actually going to get a notification whenever you post a bid. If they do specify a category, then they would only get those notifications if it's related to their opportunity. So I can click on repairs here, and if I want to start following the project, I can do that like you saw here. And if I'm ready to submit my response, I would do that here as well. So now if I come back over to, if I look at my proposals here and I look at the projects that, it should be, let me do this here. There we go. So if I click on Find Projects, what you'll see that I'm now subscribed to the City of Millbrae. And so if I click on it, it'll bring me back to my portal. So let's say that I was there, and I'm also interested in in projects that are going on, and let's say Sacramento Council of Governments. So I'm on their site. I'm looking through their portal or through their purchasing page, their doing business page, and I see this project that I'm interested in. I may come over to here And if I want to subscribe to SACOG's portal, there's a link here where I can go back to their portal and I can hit the subscribe button as well. And so the next time that I go in to find projects, you'll notice that now there are two governments here. So this just gives them a great place where they can come in and they can decide which portals they want to look at, and they know which ones that they're subscribed to or not from here as well. So now I'm going to come over here to, let's say, this project, and I'm going to submit my response. And when I do that now, as many of you know, it creates a new tab for me. If I wanted to see the project information, I can quickly access it here: project documents, downloads, addenda, Q&A, followers, etc. And then here's where I can actually see the bid opportunity that's open. But now I have this new tab, and that's proposal. And so it's already telling me that I have, because of what I did with you guys earlier, I've already filled in everything that I need for contact information. I could update that if I wanted to, and then just click next. Now it's actually, here's that live version of that submission area that I would need to respond to. So, in this case, I come in here, I answer some questions, I have my documents that I drag and drop in. I confirm the things I need to confirm for this particular solicitation. I drag and drop my documents in. I drag and drop my documents in. And then when they've completed everything, they're going to get another green check mark. And then I'll come over here to continue. And in this case, there was also a pricing table that they wanted me to fill into. So I'll come over here and I'll just fill that out. And if I wanted to, that's a lot for one case of N95 mass. Let's come back in and let's make that a little bit more reasonable. I can provide comments as well, not necessary. But you see, now it tells me that I've filled in everything that I needed to fill in. If I had left one of those out, it actually would not allow me to move forward. So now I can do that here. I've already filled this out earlier, so there's no problems there. If I wanted to come over and add my logo, I can certainly do that. And then just other things that you see here, they can actually delete the proposal. So if they wanted to start over, they could easily do that. Or if there were errors that here, then you wanted to show them, then if you do that, then it would actually guide them into what they've left out. So I'm going to go ahead and just save that, continue, and it brings me kind of to like a final page where I submit my proposal, and now I get a timestamp. And I also, if I wanted to, have quick access over to my vendor profile, I can click there. It just gives me quick access to that. And then here's my answer. This is what they'll see, which is actually exactly what you see, what your evaluators would see, or what you'd see when you open up their proposal as well. We wanted to make sure that they see, that they know that what they're seeing here is the exact same thing